It's okay. I thought today we came out and we did some fairly good things on the offensive end. I didn't like the way we ended the first half. I think the last 7 possessions, we only got 1 stop. We gave up back-to-back threes. But, you know, their offense is tough to guard, and they've got really talented players. I thought in the second half we came out and we challenged them to come out and play at a high level. And I think we held them to 24 points in the second half. And so whenever we can hold people to that number and a half, that's going to give us a chance to have some success. We had a lot of different guys that made contributions for us offensively, but, you know, we've got to get our bigs coming in off the bench to rebound the ball. They're not going after the ball, and that's something that we talk about, but those guys have to be more productive rebounding the ball for us. Is this new? We ever used a microphone like this before?
They didn't score for the first 6 minutes of the second half. Was that about the best defense you've seen from your guys this year?
When you look at the end product, yes. But, you know, you got to go back and watch film and just make sure our attention to detail was correct and we were in the right spots and things of that nature. But for that span of time, yes.
Doral continues to be efficient down there. Is it a matter of being consistent now that
he's a presence? I mean, you know, the first half I thought he carried us. I think he had like 13 points in the first half and 6 rebounds. I think he finished with 15 and 8, but he had 4 blocks, and his presence was felt down there in the game. But you know, we got to continue to throw it to him. I think we miss him far too many times, personally. You know, but you know, Doral he's a kind young man. When he gets on the court and he gets good post position, he needs to start letting people hear his voice. Throw me the damn ball.
Dan, it seems like a lot of the talk over the last couple of weeks has been about the implementation of the zone defense. But today you went man a lot. Do you like the fact that you can kind of throw both those out there and get results now?
You know, we still have to get better at both. You know, a lot of times you're going to go out there and you're going to try something offensively. If it works, you go back to it. And the same thing defensively. I mean, you want to have your core principles down. You want to be disruptive on the defensive end. But, you know, the zone just gives us a different look. Has people, you know, they got to prepare for it and do some different things. So I tried a little 1-3-1, and we didn't hustle back, and we gave up a layup in that, and I got out of that really quick. But I thought the regular zone that we played was pretty good for us for a few possessions.
The coach of Brandon Childress wasn't available today. I understand he's under concussion protocol. How's he responding, and has there been any have you submitted a tape about that play to anybody above, maybe the Big Ten level or anything?
What would they do? I mean, you know what I mean, from that standpoint. Now, probably if it was within our league, then probably something could be done, but I don't know if there's anything that can be done. I mean, you can send the tape in, you can complain about it, but at the end of the day, it's the Big Ten. And I'm saying that, you know, they're going to let their guys play. You know, I mean, nothing was done about it at the game, so, you know, we got to move on from it. It's unfortunate for Brandon because, like I said before, he got rocked. He got rocked pretty good, but, you know, hopefully we can get him back sometime soon.
Do you see confidence growing for guys like Donovan Mitchell and Melo Eggleston after games like this where they're able to kind of get free and get some points?
You know, you can develop your own confidence by playing hard. You don't have to make shots. You can't depend on making shots to get confidence, because if that's the case, you'll never have it because you're going to miss more than you make. I don't care how good you are. That's just the percentages of the game. So you got to find different ways to develop that confidence, whether it's doing what you're supposed to every possession defensively, having great technique, great attention to detail, going to the glass, running the floor. Those are all the things that if you do those things, the scoring will come. The scoring will come. You'll fall into an offensive rebound. You'll get on the break and get a layup. You'll go to the offensive glass and make something happen. And then everything else from there gets easier. But you can't press on the offensive end, because if you start doing that, it makes it tough when you miss shots.
back to Durrell for just a second. When you think back to a year ago or even longer ago, where do you feel like his game has evolved the most? It seems like it's grown in leaps and bounds, from the outside at least.
He's improved in a lot of different areas. You know, I go back after every game and, you know, you look at his field goal percentage and, you know, he's shooting mid-80s from the field. That's impressive, you know, and we tell our guys we got to get him more looks. You know, I wouldn't mind him shooting 65 or 70, 80s. That's way up there. He can get a few more looks, and we can stand to have him miss a couple more at point-blank range if that's the case. But, you know, he's doing a really good job of altering shots. Tonight he had 4 blocks, but he also altered a lot of shots. And, you know, that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but we do recognize that during film study, and we commend him on that. And rebounding the ball, you know, we're still going to push him. He had 3 offensive rebounds at half. He finished with 3. You know, so he's got to continue to go out and make good things happen. But, you know, he has improved, and we're happy with his progress, but he still has a ways to go.
That last part about happy with the progress and still always, is that pretty much how you feel about the team at this point?
That's how I feel about everybody all the time.
Okay.
Nobody's a finished product. You know, there's always room for improvement. Red shirt.
Yeah, back in the Coach, just to comment on Brian Crawford and his leadership abilities, and how truly important is that guy to this team's overall success?
He's very important. You know, he's been starting point guard from day one, and today was his best assist-to-turnover ratio all year long. He had 7 assists to 1 turnover. We need that type of play from him on a consistent basis. You know, we can't play games where he turns the ball over 4 or 5 times. That just puts us in too much of a bind. And I thought today his distribution of the basketball was really good. Anybody else? All right, go watch Deke soccer. Go watch Deke soccer. All right. Yeah.
I have final votes.
Thank you, Coach.